up your engine. All right, people are always looking at pickup trucks. Maybe you're thinking about a Honda Ridgeline. We got a new one here, 2025 Ridgeline, so they got 8,000 miles or so. We're gonna go through and you can see what it has, what it doesn't have, so you can make a wise decision when you buy something. Now why did this guy buy one? Because before this, he bought a Ford Maverick. And the Ford Maverick, he had it for 5,000 miles. And it had 16 recalls. So he decided, hey, I think I'll get something better made. So he decided to get a Honda. Now, he did admit that the Ford Maverick pickup rode good, and they do, because they've got a much more of a car ride. Well, this is a lot better car ride than the Maverick does. It's just basically their SUV system in a pickup truck. When they first made these, they called these SUTs. Okay, what's a SUT? A sports utility truck, right? That's what they decided to call them. But SUT sounds kind of weird, you know, so they just call it a truck now. Later model ones, they all come standard with all-wheel drive. It's an intelligent, adaptive all-wheel drive. It can not only put 70-something% to the rear, it can actually put different percentage to each rear wheel, so when you corner, it corners like a race car instead of cornering like a truck skipping along. It's got dual clutch packs in the back. It's a very interesting design, and it's a Honda. They really don't have any problems with their all-wheel drive systems. And if somebody wants, they can take this basically wherever they want. He got it because it rides more like a car. He's got a lawn business, so he pulls some stuff, but nothing heavy anymore. He doesn't need a V8 Ford F-150. This has got plenty enough power for what he's going to use it for. One of the big selling points is it's got a V6 engine. I'm going to pull the stupid beauty cover off. Right over there. It's a very dependable Honda V6 engine with only one downfall. That's plastic, because yes, it does have rubber timing belt, and it's an interference engine. Honda's still living in the dark ages. No one knows why, but they are. So they run forever if you take care of it. This does have the variable cylinder management system, which he's going to disconnect with his wiring adapter, so he's not going to have to worry about that because he wants to keep this thing for a really long time. You get a little bit worse gas mileage, but what would you rather do? Save a few miles per gallon, or save the engine so it can go like normal Hondas, 300, 400, 500,000 miles. They're well-built vehicles. Now, he's getting the exact gas mileage that they're rated for. He gets 18 in town and 24 on the highway. He's not a hot rodder, he just drives normal, and that's what you're going to get with this. And you consider it's a truck, you know, 24 on the highway is good, and actually 18 in town is good for a V6 engine all-wheel drive truck too. You got to take that in consideration. See, they were designed for these engines, so it's very easy to get the spark plugs when you finally need to do any kind of maintenance. Things generally don't break out a long time on these. Iridium plugs are good for well over 100,000 miles. Now, they've been making these Ridgelines for exactly 20 years now. It's a vehicle that has its own following. Honda doesn't expect to sell millions of them. They don't make millions of them. They make them for their customers so they can have a Honda truck to go along with their Honda cars. And it does ride, just to be driving around on a road test, it does ride exceptionally because, you know, it's basically got the same setup as their SUVs. So it's got great handling, and since it's all-wheel drive, you have to worry about the rain, the snow. So take a look inside. He doesn't want to ruin his seat, so he put seat covers on it. Now, he doesn't want to get grass and stuff on him, so he added that. And as we get inside, now he's customized. He put this little engine switch on it, look. So we'll start her up. Maintenance A, due soon. It's only got 7,990 miles on it, I mean. All right. But it's got a nice setup. You got an actual speedometer, then you got a digital readout on the top, and a tachometer. It is a modern vehicle. So yeah, it's got electric parking brakes, but they all do. You can turn the automatic start off like I do. There it is, it's telling you it's off, so it won't shut itself off while you're driving and be annoying. A nice integrated screen, it doesn't stick up, fits in, it's a little dusty, but everything you want. And as you can see, the controls are easy. They're here. You don't have to read through a bunch of stuff. All the settings are here. Very easy to operate, dual control for the heat. See, he's got all the stuff in here. the little trip here, and there's plenty of room in the back seats. And showing that it is one of these modern trucks, it does have a sunroof, moonroof, because it's a high-class truck. Now, he's older, so I put in the old man rear-view mirror. You do get better view. This guy drives motorcycles, too, so he wants to look. He still says he looks with his eyes when he's driving. He still looks around, but a mirror like this really gives you a better view, especially when you get older and you start missing things. Maybe I'll get one. And as you can see here, it's got various drive modes. Mud, sand, normal, snow. The all-wheel drive system is really phenomenal in these things. You just push the button and it'll set up so it won't slip in the snow or you're in the mud. It'll set your rear end up better so it's not going to slip. Collision avoidance. You can turn on or off if you don't like the buzzing and you go over the line too much and it buzzes too much. You can turn that off. And of course it comes standard with adaptive cruise control, and that works quite well. If you don't like it, you can also turn it off. If you really want, you can set it up so you can use paddle shifters if you want. Really, the 9-speed automatic transmission are generally really smooth in these. We'll see what it's like when we take it for a road test. Now, Hondas have these great gates. Okay, it's a regular gate, but if you go under the E, check it out. The best of both worlds. You can see it's got a lot of stuff in here. It is really handy. Either way, you can open it anywhere you want. Now, once you close the trunk, when you lock the doors on the inside, it also locks this, so you don't have to worry about, did I leave the tailgate open? It'll do it for you. Now, here we go. We're going to take it for a spin. And we'll put it in reverse here, and you can't see because it's dusty, but it's got a really good backup camera, and you can play with what you want to see. Wide angle one, you can do the old view from the top. I mean, you can play with all kinds of things with this, but we'll just go straight here. First thing you notice, it's smooth as can be. That's what sells these trucks. Push the old button. Everything's electronic, but hey. Now, the only way I could tell it shifted gears was by looking at the tachometer go down, because it's such a smooth transmission. Hey, you can't even feel it. We'll start cornering it, and what is a corner like? Corner's more like a car than a truck, because this isn't a body on frame. This is a unibody construction. Honda's going for comfort, rideability, drivability. They're not made for carrying gigantic loads like an F-150 or a Tundra on a full frame, but hey, trade-off is they ride a lot smoother and they get somewhat better gas mileage because they don't have a big heavy frame. Now here we get our little drag strip, and realize this is a normally aspirated V6. It's not a turbo 4. It is normally aspirated. It does have gasoline direct injection. That's how it gets the power and the gas mileage that it does. Behind us, well, there's nobody behind us, so we can come to a stop. And there is a Toyota pulling a little trailer. Well, here we go. All right. Yes, it's a V6. It's got a lot of power. Smooth ride. Downshifted good. Something's ahead. Is it a crow? Kind of looks like a crow. Look out, crow. Get out of the road. And when you want to pass somebody, you just floor it, and you can see there goes the speedometer. Quickly accelerates. Very smooth ride, you know. More like a car than a truck. And that's why he got it. He did like the Maverick, but 16 recalls later, he didn't like it anymore. This has had no recalls to it, so I mean, for a truck, this thing, the only thing I can hear is the blower on the air conditioner. That's it. If you want a smooth riding pickup truck, you can't really beat these things. Yeah, they don't have the power of a V8, but you don't need it for many things if you just want a nice truck to go around in. And the V6 in this is a lot more dependable than the Maverick that with the Turbo 4 and had nothing but problems with it. And of course, the Turbo 4 is not smooth like this thing is. You want smoothness? Get a V6. Don't get a 4-cylinder turbo. And it's going to outlast it too. not only is it a Honda, but it's a normally aspirated V6 engine. It's going to outlast a Turbo 4. So there you have it. Now you know what you get in a 2025 Honda Ridgeline. Hey, I mean, they don't change all that much. The 2025 is just about exactly the same as the 2024. But why ruin a good thing? It's got everything somebody wants in a truck like that. A cool gate that opens both ways. Rides like a car. 25 miles a gallon on a truck on a highway. That's not bad. That's not bad. All-wheel drive, you're not going to get stuck anywhere. Yeah, it's not made for pulling buildings down. That's not its point. As Honda used to call them, a sport utility truck. And that's pretty much exactly what there is. They hit the nail on the head. They don't make zillions of them, but they sell every single one of them that they make. And hey, if you don't like the price of a new one, go ahead and get a used one. They hold their mechanical parts, electronic parts. They don't have any particular problems. Like you said, he's going to have the variable cylinder management shut off, and that's a good thing. So the engine will last longer. If you don't turn it off, you get a little bit better gas mileage, and still probably running perfectly fine at 100,000 miles or more. I've had customers get a couple 100,000 miles out of them, and they still had the VSM working. Now they burn a little oil when they got 150, 160, but they still ran okay. And it didn't have 16 recalls like his Maverick did between 0 and 5,000 miles. That says something, you know? So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.